afternoon, everybody. All right, so I think we're all just kind of burned out with the whole COVID-19 chitter chatter that has been going on now for the last few weeks. At least here in Texas, I'm pretty sure that we are. The sun is coming out. We Texans, we don't do very well with sticking our heads in our houses and ignoring the great outdoors. So I see a lot of people, gardening and walking their dogs and riding their bicycles and at the driving range, and it is actually very, very, people are keeping their distance. Don't get me wrong. Texans are keeping their distance for the most part, but there is a lot more of movement going on here in Texas than what I hear about in other parts of our country and our world. But the topic of sex is always on the table, and the one thing that I have been hearing a lot about, and has kind of just, I was just talking to Addison, and I was like, what is my conscious coffee about today? Because I've got client calls and everything all day long, all this stuff going on with my clients, and I was like, I don't even know what to talk about. And she's like, well, you should talk about boring sex. So here we are, we're talking about boring sex, because boring sex is definitely on the table for so many people. I was chattering with a couple people, and they were telling me, somebody said, I was just telling my friends that, well, they're going to have sex. I know that they've been avoiding it for like 3 years, but they're going to have sex because now they're in lockdown and they're trapped in their house together. And, it's inevitable. They're going to have sex. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. The one thing that this whole isolation thing has done is it is definitely bringing about relationship challenges, and it is definitely making them center stage, which is, something that everybody needs to kind of look at. And funny that here we are, we have, this crisis, and it's all focused on isolation and separation and pushing away. But then we are here in our houses with our partners, or we wish that we were in a house with a partner right now, right? But a lot of people that are in relationship are struggling. They're struggling because, it is kind of inevitable that you're going to have sex. But here's the sad truth. A lot of people don't want to have the sex, right? A lot of people do not want that. So the topic of let's just get frisky is not even on the table for a lot of people. They're just like, no, stay away from me. I don't want to get sick. I don't feel like it. I feel sick. All this kind of stuff. So it's like this massive push. And then there are the people who are like, okay, let's go ahead and get frisky. Let's go ahead and have a lot of bedroom time, a lot of play time, but what do we do? What do we do? And the thing that I definitely hear a lot about, and I know is happening, is just a lot of dry vanilla sex, less than vanilla even at that. What is vanilla? Some might say. What is vanilla sex? Vanilla sex is whatever you think vanilla sex is. That's everyday, average, ordinary, blasé, can do it anywhere, kind of sex. And then you've got all the other kinds of sex, more of that adventure based. It's kind of hard to have an adventure if you think adventure's the way I do, which is going out and about and doing things, not at home. But adventure sex is exactly what is going to be needed in this time if you are in a relationship, and if you are in the sexual aspect of it and you're cool with that sexual aspect, you're not going through the challenges of it. Then realize that you don't want your sex to become challenged. And the way that you don't get your sex to become challenged is to get creative. This is a creative period of time. Like I said, around here, people are gardening. I see a lot of crafty things going on, a lot of coming back to nature, a lot of home improvements, crafty things. We'll take that crafting to the bedroom. What can you do in the bedroom that is not vanilla, that is not everyday? Because when we get everyday sex a lot, when we get that average and ordinary, that blasé, that vanilla, guess what happens? It causes a distancing, a numbing out. You tend to start to plan other things in your head, think about other things, because you're not engaged. Basically, you're just going through the motions. That's one of my biggest challenges with vanilla sex, is that you're going through the motions when it becomes the same repetitive thing day in and day out. or week in and week out, or month in and month out. If it is like the same timeline, you always do the same moves, you always, know exactly when your partner is going to have an orgasm, so you know exactly what to do. 1, 2, 3, I do this, she does that, he does this, and that is that with that, right? That's not what it's about. Sex is supposed to be about connection. Sex is supposed to be playful. Sex is supposed to be creative. Sex is supposed to be connective and enjoyable. There should be humor. There should be laughter. There should be lots and lots of connective activity in it, engagement in it. So we should be hearing voices. We should be making eye contact. We should be bringing in different kinds of toys. Bring in some food. Take it to the backyard, okay? Take it to the garage, to the laundry room, some other place than just the place that you always tend to do it. Boring sex. Sex can be really boring. I've had a lot of boring sex in my lifetime. I know that you might not be able to believe that coming from me, Miss Kendal Williams, who had once upon a time 11 lovers at one time and has been in open relationships and shared some of these passionate, very playful events in her life with all of you guys, but here's the reality. I'm human. A relationship in general can get to be boring sometimes. And when we are stuck in a house together, when we are in such situations as this that we are going through right now, sex can definitely become boring. But it can be boring on any occasion, right? It could be boring without COVID-19 running around. It can just be boring. And boring sex tends to cause dissatisfaction in the relationship. When one partner is getting it and the other partner isn't, and I mean the big O here, not the sex. When one partner's just going through the motions, when one partner is not really being fulfilled, the time is not being taken, there's not connection, there's not humor, there's not laughter, there's not foreplay happening, then what ends up happening is this dissatisfaction in the relationship. It is a disconnect in the relationship. We end up becoming irritated, bitter towards our partners. Vanilla sex in this category can cause bitterness, can cause frustration. And the last thing I would hate to see happen is that we all come out of this pandemic and all these beautiful relationships that was beautiful when you entered the pandemic and, or was starting to have some really positive things happen. Then all of a sudden you come out of it and there's so much friction, or there's just a deadness, a numbness between the two of you. Don't let that happen. And truly, it is back to the sex. I was talking to somebody a couple days ago, and they were telling me how, I don't know why I find the need to tell you guys who this person is. It doesn't much matter, does it? This person I bought some furniture from. And he was telling me that they're going through a divorce. This whole crisis hit, and his wife hit him with a divorce. So I'm like, wow, I wonder how much of that is going on right now. But I bet it's a lot. I bet a lot of people came into this. And he's like, here's the funny thing about our relationship. We've been married for 20 years, and she believes that the only reason you have sex is to have children. But sex is the lifeblood of the relationship. Now, I wish that I had $1 for every time a man told me this, because I hear this frequently from gentlemen, and that women are only into the sex to have a baby or to every now and then please them, and that they find sex as the lifeblood of the relationship, that this is what keeps it moving, this is what keeps it going, this is what keeps the connection. There's a lot to this topic, and we're not going to go into all of it because I only have a couple minutes left before I have a client appointment. But here's the reality. Gentlemen, you're right. You're right. Ladies, you're going to hate that. You're absolutely going to hate that I'm saying that, but you are accurate. Sex is the lifeblood of the relationship, but gourmet, good, connective sex is the lifeblood of the relationship. The reason why your woman's not wanting the sex or not connecting in sex the way you think that she should be, or maybe she's just faking it, is because you're not bringing it to the table right. You're not showing up right in the sex. You're not having the connection that is needed, the foreplay that is needed, taking the time that is needed, enjoyment of each other. You're just making it about the climax, just about the get off. And if you're using your partner as Prozac or as a climax, just a relief center, right? Then that is not building intimacy. That's not loving. That's not connective. That's not playful. That is using another person's body just to reduce your stress level. And we're all in stressful times right now. But I can tell you what, if that's what's going on, if you can't bring presence and play to it, then don't even bother with it. But you want to make sure that if you really want to walk out of this crisis with your relationship being strong, if you with your relationship, really being connective and fantastic, then make sure that your sex is happening, because it really is the lifeblood, but not the vanilla, not the blasé, not the bland, not the sex. What you're wanting is you're wanting the sex that is connective. You're wanting the sex that is deep. You're wanting the sex that is truly penetrative, emotionally, mentally, not just physically. So what is it that you could do for your sex life today? How could you show up a little bit more outside of the bedroom to be more connective with your partner inside the bedroom? What is your regular foreplay routine like? How can you change it up? What can you do that's more playful, more connective? How can you be more romantic in this time? What is it the things that you need to do in order to really get the engagement in your relationship in the bedroom? If you come back to the same old routine, I guarantee you that this particular crisis that we're in as a world society is going to be the least of your worries, because what you're needing is connection. What you're needing is play. You're needing engagement with your partner. The bedroom is a great place to do it. So is the backyard, so is the laundry room, so is the garage, the car, wherever it might be. Change some things up. Find one or two places that you can go that's a little bit different right within your own spot, your own house, your own property. Change it up with that. Bring some creative toys to the bedroom, to that situation. Bring in food. Bring in feathers. Bring in different things that are different sensations. Try blindfolds. Try hot and cold ice cubes. Okay? Try taking a bubble bath together. Lots of different opportunities there. Lots of different ideas. This is a moment to get your creative juices flowing and really truly change your sexual arena and change the chemistry between you and your significant other. On that note, goodness, I think I'm actually going to, you're probably going to see, I was thinking about, I think I got some fantastic videos out there that are like way back in the day. We're talking like 3 years ago when I started live streaming. I think I'm going to go back through and I think I'm going to pop some off, because I am just sick and tired of all the negativity and all the doom and gloom talk around COVID and 19 and all of that. And I've been trying to focus everybody in on self-love and appreciation and connection and gratitude and what you can do to really help yourself through this. Well, one of the biggest things we can do is to get our sexy on and to connect a little bit more. If we have the opportunity to connect with another human being, then we need to be doing it. If we're single and we don't have somebody to connect with right now, well, this is a perfect time to learn your own body, to change up your masturbation game just a little bit, because you know what? Boring masturbation, that vanilla, everyday, blase, I know exactly how many strokes, I know exactly where to go, I'm not giving the rest of my body any attention, masturbation, that's not going to get you anywhere either. I'm going to be coming out this next weekend, this next couple days, you're going to see a group coaching coming out for vagus nerve stimulation. Guess what the vagus nerve does? Everything. Absolutely everything. So this is one of the largest nerve clusters in our body. I'm going to do a 5-week training for you guys. No matter where you're at in the world, I highly encourage you to jump on board with this, because this is going to rock your world. This is going to change. It is a big game changer for your anxiety, for your stress, for inflammation in the body, which, guess what, impacts your well-being, your physical, emotional well-being, okay? Helps with your immune system. But what else does the vagus nerve do? It helps with stimulation in the body. Your sex will completely change, because when the vagus nerve is more dormant, when it is not activated properly, which most women's vagus nerves are not for sure, guess what? They can't feel you. Yeah, we can't feel. We do not feel the same if our vagus nerve is not active the way it needs to be. So I'm going to be teaching you guys a 5-week course on how to activate, how to stimulate your vagus nerve so that you can fully become embodied, so that you can intensify your orgasm, so you can reach better connection levels with your partner and with yourself, as well as reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and inflammation. It is a win-win-win. Look for it to come out. If you would like on the list for the pre-registration, feel free, message me in the comments, private message me, email, text, whatever that might work. Give me a call, doesn't much matter. It all works for that. Again, 5-week training. And tomorrow I'm going to be teaching a free online course all around the COVID-19. We're going to be talking about safeguards. And guess what? One of my main focuses of safeguards is safeguarding your relationship. And then there is safeguarding your wealth and your health as well. But really, truly, for the purpose of this Conscious Coffee, realize that tomorrow I'm teaching a free class. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of things so that you can safeguard your relationship in the middle of this pandemic. Make sure that you connect. That's taught on Facebook, live, free group. I love you guys. I'm off to see one of my favorite people and connect with them and have a fantastic day, which is what I hope that you will do as well. Remember, you're worth that fuck yes life. You're worth the incredible relationships, and you're a hell of a lot more. We are worth so much more than just everyday, blasé, boring, disconnected, unpresent sex. Okay? You want the turned on variety. You want the gourmet variety. You want the kind that just ignites you deep down in your soul and just makes you go, yes, more please, more. You want the sex with the more flavor. So reach out to me. I got one-on-one available for private clients. I also got the group coaching going on. I've got it going on for you. You better have it going on for you. Reach out to me. I love you guys. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. And remember, stop existing, start living. You are worthy of a phenomenal life and a freaking phenomenal sexual life as well. I love you guys. Catch you tomorrow.